Hello friends, I am Dr. S.H. Patil, Associate Professor, Department of Basic Sciences, Annasaheb Dange College of Engineering and Technology, Ashta. We are in Maharashtra state. Of course, I request you to be safe, stay home, stay safe. In the earlier lecture, I have completed the discussions of laser under engineering or applied physics. It was discussed under the following points. One, introduction. Second is basic concepts of laser. Third is characteristics of laser. Fourth is solid state laser, that is Ruby laser. Next is fifth is applications of laser. And sixth is holography. Among these, I have completed introduction, basic concept, and characteristics. Today, we are interested to study the solid state laser, that is Ruby laser. There are different types of the lasers: solid state laser, gas lasers, liquid dye lasers, then semiconductor dye lasers. Of course, the initial laser introduced by Meinman in 1960 has some disadvantages. It was very difficult to start the laser, beam of a laser, and it was very difficult to stop it. This was the limitation of first working laser. In order to overcome this particular problem, solid state lasers have been developed. The convenience of the solid state laser is that it can be switched on and off as we desire. So definitely the solid state lasers are far better as compared to the earlier one. One of them is a Ruby laser. See, in solid state laser, of course, we are aware that solid states, the doping, P-type doping, N-type doping can be done. This doping is done in order to increase the quality of the metals, rather desired quality of metals. In similar manner, the Ruby laser, Ruby, that is aluminum oxide, is taken into consideration. And in order to enhance its properties, desired properties, we can say, the chromium is doped in it. 0.05% chromium atoms are doped in aluminum oxide. Of course, we know that aluminum and oxygen, they are inert, but by doping chromium, the active centers can be increased. And it is observed that the chromium is, it shows absorption bands in blue and green region. That is why when we are interested to increase the pumping stage in Ruby laser, we are using blue and green colors. Initially, we'll study its construction. See, this is a Ruby rod. The length of the rod is 4 centimeters, whereas the diameter of the rod is found to be 0.5 to 1 centimeter in diameter. This particular rod is covered with the helical tube, or it is called as a flash tube. This flash tube is filled with xenon. This xenon gives rise to, the xenon gas gives rise to blue color and green colors. In order to illuminate, this power supply is connected to both the ends of this particular tube. So this is the construction. Again, I'll repeat: rod 4 centimeter long, the diameter 0.5 to 1 centimeter in diameter. This is covered with the flash tube, helical tube. Both the ends of this rod is covered with mirrors. This mirror is 100% reflector, so 100% silvered, whereas another mirror is 98 to 99% silvered. So these mirrors are used to reflect the beam of light which is incident inside this particular rod. See, this is the construction. I already explained you the xenon tube, length, breadth, polished 100%. Now, the basic principle can be explained on the basis of this particular diagram. So this diagram is nothing but the energy level diagram. Energy level diagram consists of the ground level. This ground level has energy E1. Then level number 1 This level, this is second level, energy E2. Third level, energy E3. Now these are the subshells. In level 3, there are two subshells they are shown. So again I'll repeat. So this is E1 for ground level with energy E1. First level with energy E2. Second level with energy E3. Of course, both these are the subshells shown. The ground state, so initially the atoms, this is 1, 2, and 3 level system. The atoms are lying in this lowermost orbit. The energy is given to these atoms in the form of light. As we know, the chromium atoms are sensitive for green color and blue color. That is why the green color and blue color is used to give the energy to the atoms lying in this orbit ground state with energy E1. These atoms will absorb the energy with the help of a green and blue color. Green color has a wavelength 5400 angstrom, whereas the blue color has energy wavelength 4400 angstrom. If you compare these wavelengths, the energy associated with blue color is found to be more, and that is why the atom will jump from this level to this level compared to green level. So more energy, the more jumping of the atom takes place. So here, the atoms lying in the ground state with energy E1, they absorb the energy. The energy increases from E1 to E3, and that is why the atoms will jump from lower level to the higher level. Initially, aluminum oxide is inert, but when it is doped with chromium, definitely the chromium atoms are very useful to absorb the energy, and they jump from lower level to the higher level. This type of jumping, because we are increasing the energy associated with the atoms, so they will jump from lower level to the higher level. This is called as a pumping, whereas the light is used, and hence this jumping is called as a pump. This jumping of the atom from lower level to the higher level is called as optical pumping, because for our interest, in order to generate the beam of laser, we have incident the photons. Of course, they are green and blue color, and hence it is called as optical pumping. Now, as we already know, in case of population inversion, more number of atoms are lying in this lowermost orbit. They jump from lower level to the higher level. The population of the upper level increases. Of course, this instability is reached, and that is why the atoms lying in this orbit, they will jump from this level to this level. This is called as non-radioactive transition. This is very fast. So the time is of the order of 10 raised to minus 9 seconds. So these atoms will jump from this level to this level. Of course, again, this is energy level E2. This is a grind level, the first level you can say. This energy is E2. The energy earlier for the atoms lying in this lowermost orbit has E1. E1 is higher than E. E1 is lower than E2. Now, here in this case, the population of this level increases. As the population increases, N2 is now larger than N1. What is this N1 and N2? N1 is the number of active species lies in orbit, first orbit, whereas N1 is the number of active species lying in the lowermost orbit. Now, this population is exactly opposite. Opposite in the sense, generally we know by nature N1 is very, very greater than N2. But due to this jumping, the atoms in the lowermost orbit, they will jump from lower level to the higher level, and they reach to this particular destination. Now, and that is why the population of this level increases. And as this population of this level increases, now N2 is found to be greater than N1. This is exactly the opposite to the condition of the atoms lying in this orbit, because in general, the number N1 is definitely higher than N2. But now here N2 is greater than N1. This is called as a population inversion. When there is a population inversion, the stimulated emission takes place. The atoms lying in this orbit, they have to come to their lower level, initial orbit. During this process, they are stimulated to go down from first level to the ground level, from energy E2 to E1. So in whatever the excess amount of energy is there, that is E2 minus E1, this much amount of energy is given in the form of a light. So whatever the wavelength associated with this energy is about 6,943 angstrom minute. So this is in the form of a light. Of course, as the wavelength is 6943 angstrom, it is red in color. So whatever the energy is given out due to the jumping of the atom from this level to this level is in the form of a light, and the wavelength is being a wavelength is 6943, it is red in color. So this gives rise to the emission of laser. This is what is mentioned over here. And ultimately, see, this is nothing but the working of a laser. So unless there is a population inversion, we we cannot get the emission of the laser. The emitted lasers are red in color. The reason is the wavelength 6943 angstrom. So this is the way in which the lasers are emitted. So today we have discussed the solid state lasers. In the next lecture, we'll discuss the applications of the laser. Now, before I conclude this lecture, you try to solve the following practice questions. What are the advantages of solid state laser over traditional laser? I have already told you that the traditional lasers, that earlier the initial laser which was invented by man was inconvenient to use it because it was very difficult to start the laser action, whereas it is very difficult to stop the laser action. Whereas in case of solid state lasers, it is the most convenient to start the reaction, that is solid state laser. So it can be conveniently switched on and off as we desire. Write note on construction of the Ruby laser. You are supposed to draw the diagram. See here, this is the construction. This construction you have to draw this diagram: rod, then flash tube, you have to show this xenon, then mirrors on the both the ends, and explain it. So you must be able to write down draw the diagram and explain the construction. What is the energy level diagram? I have already explained you. Say this diagram is called as a energy level diagram, and unless we draw this diagram, it is not possible to explain the working of the laser. Uh, yes. Next question is, explain the working of Ruby laser. How it works? The atom from lowermost orbit jump in the higher, the second level, third level, and ultimately the population of instability is reached. Then the atoms will jump from this level to this level. They are on first level with energy E2. This excess amount of energy is there. These atoms has to come down because there is a population inversion. Number of atoms lying in this orbit increases very high, and this instability is to be maintained, and hence these atoms are stimulated down. They are this is the jumping of these atoms from first level to the ground level is called as stimulated emission. During jumping, excess amount of energy E2 minus E1 is given in the form of photon. The wavelength is 6943, and thus we get the laser action. So this is the way in which you have to explain this. And then why it is ruby laser is red in color? Because the wavelength lies in the range of 6943 angstrom minute, and this is near red color. So the color of a laser beam is red, and this is the reason why it is red in color. Okay, so this is about the ruby laser.